Hello everybody, it is July 6th and right now we're going to take a quick look at Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies and see what the price action is telling us today. Right now if we're looking here on CoinGecko just to see what's happening in the market, overall we're up 1.8% in terms of the the total crypto market cap. Right now it's sitting at 1.48 trillion, 1.8% increase over the last 24 hours. We're seeing Bitcoin right now still within the 1.1%. Ethereum actually moved up 5.2%, and we're seeing some other things here like Uniswap up 17 point something percent, and overall things are looking a bit still. We're still in that sideways action. Today we ranged here, you'll see went all the way down to the 33,532. The high of the day is actually 35,118, and we're more closer to the opening price here over so in the lower ranges of the day. So right now we're currently sitting at 33,800. We've been battling against the 34,000 for the past couple of days. We saw that rejection overall on the daily. You see how the past couple of days momentum isn't that crazy to the upside. And one thing we need to note is overall, usually if I zoom out here to the upside, we'll see that when we're overall in an uptrend and everything's looking good, any downtrend, any kind of loss in momentum actually results in a bit of a sideways action, right? So if we're pushing, let's just take a look maybe at the beginning of the year here. We're all on an uptrend. We've been uptrending since October, September. We've been really pushing up. Everything is looking good. And then overall, as soon as we kind of start halting, as soon as we get to the top in terms of the MACD is it's just showing you what the momentum is. If it's more explosive, it's if it's just gonna lag for a bit, if it's supposed to kind of go sideways for a bit, or actually completely lose those gains that we had and just completely plummet. So overall, when we are in an uptrend, any loss of momentum sometimes causes the price action to go sideways a bit, right? And as soon as the next time, as soon as that momentum to the bottom, that selling pressure, that trading volume, people got in at 18,900, 18,000, 20,000. People were coming in. We pushed up, made some gains. Now you got some traders or swing traders that are actually trying to take some profit, and other people that are just flooding into the market. We know that the market cap at one point here for all of crypto is at 2.4 trillion. Right now we're sitting at 1.8, so we lost quite a bit. But overall, as soon as that momentum to the upside, as soon as that momentum starts to turn a bit more positive, you'll see that the uptrend, that momentum starts to turn back again to be more and more explosive. And the next time we go up, we are still in an uptrend, we lose that momentum. Again, as soon as we start gaining that momentum, we push back upwards higher than this. So we react more positively to a positive or an increase in momentum by the buyers when we're in an uptrend. And then as soon as we top out in terms of the MACD, in terms of that momentum, we either go sideways or go, we don't really plummet that heavily compared to what the performance is of that whatever cryptocurrency we're looking at, and that's specific for Bitcoin. So right now, overall, in terms of performance for Bitcoin since the beginning of the year, we reached all the way to the 65,000. We were losing that momentum as we push upwards more and more. And now that we broke below this bearish pattern, this rising wedge, we dropped a lot of negative news. Now we're more in a downtrend in terms of the price action. We've been in that downtrend since April 18th, which if we calculate here, what do we have? So almost, 79 days, we're pushing closer to, so 11 more days, we'd be looking at 3 months downtrend and continuous selling pressure for Bitcoin. So right now, as we were looking here, once we're losing that momentum, we'll push sideways a bit until we meet those EMAs here, if you watch the live streams or if you watch the other videos we place a big importance on the EMAs. As soon as we create that gap between the EMAs, the exponential moving average, we try to always come back to either find that support at it or hug it for a bit until we see what the market actually decides. So as soon as we broke out here, that was the first kind of actually a negative momentum in terms of the price action. The drop was substantial compared to before. We went back above to retest that breakout point exactly here. That's where we went. We dropped, went back above to retest this breakout, and then as soon as we hit it exactly where that is, we dropped again. So now the opposite's happening. Now we're seeing that we downtrended, and then we had a bit of a positive momentum that caused a sideways action. Why? Because overall we are in a downtrend currently. It's been, you know, we're getting closer to 3 months. So the upward momentum, just like how we were ignoring those slower, that decrease in momentum over on this side that caused sideways action, now that's being flipped. Now we are in a downtrend, and any positive momentum is still getting us just to stagnate for a bit, right? We're not being explosive. We had those days here where we had almost, what do we have here? Let's see. So we have, as soon as we actually went above in terms of momentum on a daily, 20 days that didn't really do much. We just went sideways. So now overall, the MACD and the signal line are now a bit more into the neutral side. What's going to happen, right? That next really heavy negative momentum, is that going to cause us to go back down to these lower levels? That's the main question we should be asking ourselves, because overall, if we zoom out, again, just like how we're looking at the MACD, we're looking at the RSI itself. RSI was in the higher regions, was closer to the 90. Overall, we're looking at the 70. Anything above the 70 range is more overbought. That means that, you know, the market's too excited. We're really above in terms of the strength, and we need to be careful, because anything that happens at that point, any kind of retracement is going to trigger a lot of price action, drop overall, and a lot of the traders or swing traders are actually going to be taking profit on their position, and the more they take profit, the more the price is going to drop, the more it's going to cost panic selling for, even for the newbies, for the people that just got into the space. So right now, we're looking at this. If we're this overall, we were high on the RSI. The more we push, the more we push, the more we push in terms of price action to the top, we were actually losing strength. And at one point, no one was selling, right? Even we were looking here, buyers coming more aggressively. And then again, to the top, sellers are not, there's no sellers in the market at the moment. Why? Because everybody's just getting in, and we're ignoring those bearish diverging signs on the MACD and the RSI itself. So now it's been since the beginning of the year, RSI has been losing that strength. So now we're getting to a point. So let's just see here. We topped out here exactly, which is beginning of the year, beginning of January, and right now we've been sitting here at 180 days. So, you know, it's a bit of a long time for the RSI to start regulating itself. We're now at a level where Bitcoin is at 33,000. The RSI is showing oversold signals. Oversold meaning that this right here now, compared to the performance of this chart, we're seeing that a neutral level in terms of the RSI is actually at the 33,000 around those regions. So overall, you're seeing that we've been in that that selling pressure has been absorbed here for the past, what do we have here? So ever since we got here till now, so 48 days, we're getting close, and 12 days would be 2 months of literally just sideways action. A lot of those bear signals were ignored as well. So we'll see something overall here. What do we have here? Let's see. Something like this overall, where as soon as we actually we had something like a wedge where we dropped into it, you're expected to downtrend out of it based on, you know, technical analysis. It drops for a bit and right away got bought up, and boom, those short positions got really squeezed, and now we pushed back up to actually find that resistance at the 200 daily EMA. So what I'm trying to say here is that we've been saying, let's just practice some patience and see how this develops, because this is completely sideways action and anything can happen at this point. Bullish signals, anything above, we're breaking above, is being ignored and met with resistance, and then anything to the bottom is being bought up pretty quick. We're seeing those wicks to the bottom telling you that same thing here, here, nice hammer candle showing us that, look, any dip below these lower levels, buyers are actually buying, and that selling pressure that we had here for the past, you know, couple of months, 3 months, is actually being absorbed by these buyers at those lower time frames, meaning that there's a bit of a redistribution happening by the buyers, by the sellers that actually sold at this point. We waited all the way till we got down, and now buyers are trying to buy it here, meaning that those Bitcoins, those coins that we have, are being redistributed and being given to, you know, overall quote unquote strong hands that have been here for a while. And that's what we saw. If you've been watching the live streams, we've been discussing the SOPR, the spent output profit ratio, and that's telling us that those coins, those long-term holders, those big whales, are actually buying from people that actually bought at these higher levels. So overall, you know, we've been hearing, I don't know We've been in this for a while, guys, and once you start hearing, your parents and your friends actually start talking about Bitcoin, you'll know, and you're seeing that it's on CNN and all these different, other channels. Bitcoin, everyone's talking about Bitcoin. So again, a lot of new people got in beginning of the year, when there's people, those veterans that have been in Bitcoin ever since 2017, leading up to this point, we've all been watching. So there's a lot of new people that came into here. Maybe that 1 point something, we were at 2.4 trillion, 2.4 trillion. Now we're at 1.4 trillion. Maybe that trillion that came in was from those people that got into the market recently, and now we're seeing substantial selling happening, especially when we have heavy drops from 65k all the way down at 53%. So there's a lot of selling pressure that happened in the moment. So what I'm trying to say here, if we're looking down at lower time frames, I don't want to extend this video too long. It's what do we have? Yeah, it's been almost 10 minutes. So if I'm looking at those lower time frames, I'm looking at the 4-hour. I'm seeing that we see here this zone overall pretty well established since May 18th. You'll see every time we hit it, we drop. Every time we hit it, we drop. So again, 3 times we drop. 4th time we actually even dropped until we actually pushed above it. Maybe the market was not ready yet. There's a lot of negative news in the market right now. It's been happening ever since April, since we actually started dropping. News from China, Tesla not accepting Bitcoin, all these things, all the FUD that's been happening, and which in my opinion is not really FUD. It's just the normal reaction of a market that's new, the normal reaction of a market that's so volatile, and a normal reaction to a market that's just, it's basically a bit of a financial revolution, right? Because who knew Bitcoin is going to be at 65,000 at one point? Who knew you're going to have big corporations starting to accept cryptocurrencies? And who knew that you're going to have central banks start talking about a central bank digital currency and actually starting to test it? So all these things right now are this market is so fresh. It's like you buying, an electric car, and the laws or the regulations for electric cars are still in the limbo. It's in the gray zone. If you're sitting in the passenger seat, what happens? Who's gonna pay for insurance if an accident happens? Who's gonna get that liability? Who's gonna have to pay for the damages if we have something? It's an electric car that's driving itself at one point. The legal aspect of it is still in the limbo, so we need to push for more regulatory clarity, and that's what's happening here, and that's what's causing these massive drops and that sideways action we've been having. So overall, this resistance over here has been well established. We know the zone, that's a bit, pointing to the bottom here, declining, has been that area where Bitcoin's finding a lot of resistance versus support. More resistance than support, and these lower time frames, these lower price levels, anything closer to 30,000 is where buys are accumulating. So there's a battle happening, and at what point we need to see if the buyers are actually ready to push this price action above again, and we need to see whether this overall here on a lower time frame is actually going to hold as well. So we'll see if overall we have the first time we actually broke above this resistance zone at June 30th. We pushed all the way up. You'll see there's a lot of leverage trading happening. 4-hour chart, 200 EMA, very, very strong resistance at this higher levels. And ever since June 15th, we dropped heavy to those lower time frames, and again, we reached an area where there's a lot of buying. You can't deny the fact that there's a lot of accumulation happening, or a lot of redistribution happening. Again, you start seeing that the buyers actually peaked below the sellers peaked below the 28,700 and pushed the price action back above these opening levels. And again, we reached this area over here, $30,000. More aggressively, buyers got into the market and pushed the price action above, and now we're here. So I think the longer we spend time over here, the more explosive the price action is going to become. We're seeing those bullish signs get ignored. We break above, come back down, try to find that support and actually fail at it. And again, we drop below it. Now we had that second shot again, go above, come back down, and we actually did find that support and pushed. So now we have some sort of a double support. We're here. Bitcoin can easily drop back again here, and something might happen tomorrow where some big corporation adopts this, and you're gonna see the price action move a bit to the higher. So again, sideways action, we stay away from sideways action when we're trading, specifically with Bitcoin, because anything can happen, and we need to see if the market is ready. So on lower time frames here, overall we're seeing that the buyers are trying to push at this area. If I zoom in a bit, we have the support that we have over this zone, and we have the support on a lower time frame where you're seeing that sellers tried to push the price action below this line and it didn't work. And again, now we're seeing that happen. We have 2 hours left for the day, and this is the 4 hour. Right, we have above us the 100 EMA and the 200 EMA. Anything close to the 200 EMA is actually being rejected. So what we need to see, again, 4 hour chart on a lower time frame here on the 4 hour chart, if you want to kind of snipe and see what's happening on the low, because what happens here is that those lower time frames start cascading to those higher time frames, and you'll start seeing what's happening. So for the past what do we have, 1 2 3, so closer to 12 4 hour candles the past 3-4 days, we're having that MACD is starting to tick back up again. But something to consider is that RSI over here was pretty oversold on the 4 hour. Now we're seeing that we're pushing back above. We were having this 1 2 3 higher lows, and not until recently here, not until yesterday, we started having lower highs in terms of the RSI itself, signaling that we actually might be losing steam, and this support here might not hold us. So we need to be very careful. We need to see if we're gonna look overall. There's a pretty heavy resistance that we would be very naive thinking that we're just gonna zoom past it and not try to prove. We have to confidently prove that this became a support, and this is what we're doing over here. We went above, came back down to retest it, and pushed the first time. Is the second time going to happen again? Are we gonna push against it this next time and find that support at it again? We don't know. We need to see if the market is ready or not. But again, over lower time frames, we are trying to find that support. And I really want Bitcoin to actually do something like this, where at least this level. Let's just see here. I don't know why I have this. I have my mic right in front of me, and it's pretty annoying. So we need to see Bitcoin actually try to break above this level. Look, we've been saying for a while, we want Bitcoin to push above this 200 EMA, which is currently sitting at the 36,000. Overall, if we go to even higher time frames, you'll see that we have so much work ahead of us, guys. We shouldn't really get too excited yet. We've been really downtrending heavy for a while, and now we're seeing governments try to get in. So it's an interesting time, and it's a very speculative time, right? Because anything could happen. So again, shorter time frames are looking like we need to find that support. If not, I suspect Bitcoin to again find that lower support somewhere closer to 32,000. That would be my next target level. I can see it breaking below, go back above to retest that breakout point, and then again come back here. Now again, we're in that zone again that we need to prove. We need to find that support. So do we have support below us? Yes. Do we have support at this moment? Yes, but we're reaching an apex. We need to see what's going to happen. If it pushes above, it's probably going back above to these higher levels, 35,500. But apex one more time, just like we had an apex over here. If you see this triangle that we're having, apex pushed above, back down, above, lower, back down here, higher, higher high, lower low, higher high, and then we broke below it, and then we came back up. So is the same thing going to happen again? Very well. It could be very likely, and again, is Bitcoin gonna ignore a bearish sign when we break below? A very high chance it could. And if we even break above here, are we gonna have another ignored bullish sign? And we're gonna continue to stay in this redistribution accumulation zone for the next month or two. That's something we need to see. So we need to see how the market reacts to this, and we need to see what the buyers are actually doing. But overall, again, just to remind you, daily, we're in oversold regions, and we've been really downtrending for the past. We've been losing that momentum ever since January here. So is this how much more selling pressure do we have here at this level? We did go down 55%. RSI is in the oversold region, telling us that, look, we might have that one last dip, but are we going to dip again to the extreme oversold region, or are we going to dip back down to the 30 level in terms of oversold? We don't know yet, but all I know is I've been in the negative for a while. I've been in the negative here for a while, and so RSI is in this region. Something big might happen, and we will just need to wait and see. So anyways, I don't want to prolong this, which I already did, 20%. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, make sure you like. If you are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to get those daily updates. And again, we have another, I'm probably going to record something here about Ethereum or vechain. If you guys want, let me know in the comment section below. And make sure you stay tuned for the live stream we're going to have at the end of the day. And again, if you want to support us on Patreon, we got the links in the description below. We got a bunch of links for whatever affiliate program, so make sure, see whatever you like and try to use our link if you actually want to support us. So again, thank you for watching. Have a great day.